is this Taraji's first movie that we see her that starring? I know she's been in every TV show.
Yeah.
I know she was like his sister, and
Smart guy.
she's always like that girl playing the high school girl, even though I think she was like 27 with that. I know she said when she moved to Hollywood, she already graduated college. She already had her son, and her son moved to LA together. So she was a grown adult playing these like high school characters.
Yeah, I'm looking at her Internet Movie Database and I'm seeing Parenthood, Sister, ER, Saved by the Bell, The New Class, Smart Guy, Streetwise, which sounds like a film, Felicity, Pacific Blue, Satan's School for Girls, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, Strong Medicine, All or Nothing. So, I mean, this isn't her first film, but I think that this is the first film where she's
starring. Like, yeah, we kind of know, like, hey, we know her name now.
Yeah,
she's not that girl. She has a name.
She's a legitimate supporting character. Welcome to Curry Gumbo, the podcast where Nicole and Ashley discuss Black film and TV.
Side note, did you know AJ and AJ Johnson stood for Adrian Joy?
No, I didn't know that.
I was watching, I just been watching the Jamie Foxx show, just a couple episodes, whatever, every day. And she's in one of them, and she's credited as Adrian Joy Johnson. And I was like, oh, that's what the AJ stands for. I was like, I never knew.
I love AJ Johnson, and I love her in this film. Even though going back and watching it, that's why, we typically record like Sunday morning. And I was like, I'm not ready because I was dreading watching a baby boy.
Girl, I just put it on. What I did, I just put it on, and I was just, if it's a movie I've seen multiple times, I just have it on and I just start making notes of things that kind of like pop out to me. I'm like, ooh, what is this? It's kind of like things you hear things differently.
Yeah.
And so I'm just watching just to hear something that pops out, and I just like make my notes.
What was that in this film?
First of all,
yes.
What was John Singleton thinking? That's my first note. Why? Because this is about a man, an adult, male,
a legal adult,
is very childish. And we see in the first scene, he's a grown-ass embryo in utero. And then they go into like this, I can't remember what poem they're quoting or whoever they're quoting about how Black men are just stay in this childlike phase of, their friends are their boys, their house is their crib. They call their girl. Yeah, they call their girl their mama. So it's just all this childish activity. And then even all of the men in this movie, including like Yvette's friends, boyfriends, like all of the men are just horrible.
Yeah.
And it's like, John Singleton, what was your motive? Like, what were you trying to do? Yeah, I'm like, John Singleton, like, what? Because this does not put Black men in a good light. Like every Black man. Even Mama's boyfriend, it's like he was okay, but he still kind of had like a questionable past that Tyrese kept trying to bring out of him. So it's like, what are you trying to say about the Black man?
If this film were written and directed by a Black woman, it would be over.
Oh, yeah.
It would be completely over. And I don't know. I haven't read Frances Cress Welsing, but she's one of those folks that I would people would make memes of her work quite often. And to me it always, I'm not always, but I'm like, it's given. You know what? Let me not say much about this person. But I feel like the film is definitely interested in the arrested development of Black American men. I don't think that, because what I like, I just did like a quick Google search of like Frances Cress Welsing and like other things that she said, and it was like, it's also important to note that you may have a lot of Black men in jail or in prison on drug charges and gun charges, but Black men are not at the head of the food chain as it relates to this stuff. Like Black men don't run drug cartels. Like Black men don't, they
True.
don't they don't make guns. So like these things are developed, created, and pushed into our communities. And so it seems like she was always very critical of the American empire and how it contributes to the arrested development of Black men. What the film, I feel like didn't really hit that part home. Like,
It didn't.
yes, these men are fucked up. Like these, like especially like his friend P. I'm like, dang, like this is a person, it seems like he's trying to change. He wants to get baptized. He is, he's looking for a job, but it's the film I don't think shows how even
There's
when
no
someone wants to,
evolution.
well, even if someone wants to course correct, how your environment doesn't even allow for that. Cause what job is he getting
Yeah.
with the, with the record? What job is he getting? What resources does he have to pull from in order to like start his own business? What can he do? He live at home with his girlfriend's mom. Like that, it's so I feel like I don't hear a lot of people critique Baby Boy for that reason, like it's putting Black men in a bad light. I do hear a lot about it just being like a film that people are not that proud of. And that
Yeah.
is interesting
But
for John Singleton because we love higher learning. We love poetic justice, like we love Boys in the Hood, but Baby Boy is just he said that he wrote this film for Tupac, and I wonder if Tupac, if he got
what?
the
Oh,
script,
like
if
to act in it.
yeah. I wonder
Okay.
if Tupac had gotten the script because before Tupac passed, Tupac is like a legitimate actor now. I
Yes.
wonder if he would have seen it if he was like, hey, there's some holes in here. It's a little too much.
I
Come
wouldn't.
on.
I don't know if I could take Tupac serious in this role because Tupac is a very complex man. Like he was, even though he did some foolishness, he was very educated when he spoke. Like every interview you pull up on him, like he knows what he's talking about.
But you believe that he was bipolar in Juice. So you
Yeah.
can believe that I think that he was such a talented actor. You could have believed him as a Jody. I wonder if he would have played in it because there's nothing, like you said, there's nothing complex about Jody.
No.
Lucky was complex. Like Lucky was somebody
Yes.
like love Lucky. Jody, child, get the fuck out of here. No, 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 I ain't worried about you. But you know what also was difficult for me? In 2001, I didn't really know too much about Tyrese. There was no
I
social
don't think
media.
any of us was this. I know
He had an
I-
album.
okay.
He was good. He was good. People knew him, and I don't think people knew a lot about him. And I think that that is what saves a lot of these actors because as soon as Tyrese started becoming a little bit more vocal on social media, I was like, "Sir, where's the publicist? I need for them to take over your social media accounts, every single one of them. Because
I was gonna say this is before all of the Fast and the Furious stuff. So,
and it was before what more do you want from
oh,
me? It was before all of that. Before he started shouting like misogynist foolishness on social media, talking about, women and their value. Before he started like getting into it with The Rock. Like it was before all of that. So
before he gets a new wife, that's why he has a new wife every 2 years. It's like I don't even know. I can't even keep up. I don't even have an opinion on Tyrese because I don't know. I don't even know like which wife. He's
right.
like 5 wives in the past 5 years. It's
And he's constantly like on social media doing real middle school shit, like kissing on his girlfriend, acting like the camera ain't there. Go sit your ass down somewhere. Talking about the Will and Jada gave you some money and then they didn't give you money. You lied about it's like, listen, sir, is it crack?
it's
Is it
something.
cocaine? Is it pills? Because it needs to be a bed. Go to bed. Anyway, so I am bringing kind of all of that knowledge back onto this. And so anytime I feel like there's a part where like Jodi is just like is overacting, like you're doing a bit much. I just all that stuff with Tyrese just comes rushing back.
And this was like we said, it's way before all that stuff. I mean, Tyrese was believable as a no good man. Okay, so I'm still back on this first scene. So we see grown ass Jodi in the uterus, and then he's picking up Yvette. It's like he's picking her up from the abortion clinic. I'm like, was he in there with her? Did he wait outside? Did like I because I'm like, they meet outside the clinic. So I'm like, he wasn't in there with her? Or did he just pick her up?
I'm thinking maybe he just picked her up.
Okay.
But it's the fact that we don't know. The fact that like we're even questioning that says a lot about his character. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, like, are you allowed to?
I thought you could have somebody. Well, I don't know.
I don't know either. But even if you were allowed to have 85 billion people in there, Jodi probably wasn't going to be one of them because he busy fucking Peanut.
Again, John Singleton, what are you trying to say? Like, is this like a. I feel like all his movies was like a view into the life of LA. Like we learn LA through John Singleton.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like this is the LA you want to this and I don't want to sugarcoat things like yes, there are men like Jodi, but it's like damn, like everybody, every man was just trash. Every woman is dealing with these trash men.
Yeah.
Um AJ Johnson is planting a garden. I wrote, is planting a garden the sign of getting old? Because she
Man,
kind of
I've been
mentioned
old
that.
since 25. Well, I haven't done one yet, but I've wanted to do one for a very long time.
She mentioned that, and I was like, is that why I'm interested in like plants and going to farms and planting and having plants in my house because I'm getting old?
Well, I mean, I thought that for her character in particular, that this garden represented something that she could grow and develop that would be successful because Jodi and her other son were not. So like the
Mm-mm.
older brother was thrown out of the house. This is all coming from Jodi, right?
Jodi,
Jodi says,
yes.
my mom started dating this guy. He didn't get along with my older brother. My older brother moved out or got kicked out and got killed, was murdered as a result of not having a place to go. Um, and he's worried that the same is going to happen to him. And so I'm wondering if, like Jodi, the older brother, just was experiencing some trouble having faith in himself and having access to resources to kind of build his own life outside of the home he grew up in. And so this to me would mean that like the mom is like not very proud of the growth of these two young men, right? Because she's constantly like critiquing him, like, why don't you get out? Go, move in with your baby mom. Like, why,
I
why
was
don't
thinking the
just
same
just leave
thing.
just leave this house and and take the reins as far as your life is concerned. So I don't know. Sometimes I think that gardens, you want to be around something beautiful. You want to be around something you worked for. You want to build something. Like she couldn't build these two sons. Let me build this damn garden. I don't think that that's necessarily what's going through her head, but I think that the growing something was very important to her.
I can see that. But I also see a lot of women our age because I'm assuming she has to be she's probably in her late 30s
Late
as
30s, early 40s.
the
Yeah.
character. And I'm like, yeah, a lot of us are into growing gardens. This ain't nothing new.
Yeah. And I am also very much into Ving Rhames in
Ooh,
this film. He looks so good to me,
he was very buff.
but
So,
also just down to earth, ain't scared of shit,
well, nah, he too big to be scared. He ain't scared of Jodi.
and but also like very caring. In the house, naked, cooking.
Ah,
Jody walk in, you want something? After I
ask,
hem your ass up, after I almost kill you, after I almost strangle you to death, or at least you might faint because I'm strangling your ass so much. I'm asking you if you want something from the store. Like it's just like he cares about everybody in the house.
he does. He was the least problematic. But
Like you said, he wasn't without his flaws. He has two
yeah,
children who we never see. Um Jody says that his oldest son accused Melvin of beating his mother. I can
yeah,
believe that.
yeah,
I can believe that Melvin has some anger issues and has some um you know abusive tendencies. I can also believe that he has made a change or
yeah.
is on the road to like a complete recovery. It's difficult talking about this stuff because it's like, what do you do with people like that? What do you do with abusers? What do you do with people who hurt
Mhm.
people? You we don't want to be a community that throws people away. So
I
what do you
guess
do?
it's a present tense versus the past tense. If it's something it's happened before, it's
Hmm.
different than, oh, he just slapped a woman last week. Well,
Hmm.
like if it's something that's happened in the past and he's like, damn, I don't know what the f I was going through, like, or I was going through
Hmm.
something crazy back then, but now I've learned other ways.
Yeah.
So I mean, we all evolve.
And
Mhm.
it's like, what work are you doing to ensure that this doesn't happen again? I don't think we
Right.
know the
No,
work that he's doing. And I also think that this is why, like, money is such an important part of this conversation because if you know that you've had triggers before, Melvin, why are you moving in with a woman with this little raggedy ass nigga who you know finna try you? Why are you moving into her house?
because none of these
Yeah,
men had stable home. Like none of these men provided a home or even just help. Like back to Jody and his, I've called it an irrational fear of getting kicked out the house. Sir, like you have You have a whole girlfriend, half a girl. I don't know whatever you want to call the other child's mother. It's like pick a house to stay in. Like you could be helping them building a. You have two families to pick a family
Yeah.
to go
It's
to.
not, I mean, to me, it didn't feel irrational, but I'm also a person who has dealt with like homelessness when I was young. It's like,
I
oh,
say okay. The reason why I say it's irrational is because he has he created another family. So it's not like he's just single by himself and it's like, okay, I'm probably need to get a roommate. I need to find a place. He can go with Yvette and his son if
he
that's what
can.
he wants to be with and help build that household. It's not like he's going to be out in the street with nowhere to go.
I think that he doesn't know that he wants to be with Yvette yet. I don't think he knows. I don't think he's ready to move in with Yvette, and I don't think he knows that this is an appropriate move to make. Even though I don't think they should move in together.
No, like okay,
I,
yes, their relationship is crazy, but I'm saying it's like he's so concerned, like, oh, you're gonna kick me out the house. So, get out, step up. You got two kids with two women well, one lives with their mother, but the other one is on her own.
and that mom did not like him.
No,
She rolling her eyes as she should. Y'all sitting up
yeah,
here fucking smoking weed in this lady house while she is taking care of this baby. Do you understand how I would have been like, hey, get your shit and get up out your house? But I think that just the tension between parents and older children is
yeah,
something, because you just know Peanut and her mom would have been back and forth arguing, and the mom is trying to like really pick her battles. So I have to say, like, I really like that. Like, it showed how relationships between parents and children can become really strained. Even P's girlfriend and her mom, like,
yeah.
just like, oh my gosh, like, we are dealing with this man. It's just a lot of tension in the house. I I feel like Jody is also thinking about what happened to his older brother, right? So that's why I'm like, it's irrational, but
You can't
there's
stay at
a
your mama's house forever. And
why
he seemed
not?
like he
Why not? One, I feel like there are a lot of groups who allow their children to stay until they
that
get
is true.
married and until like they really get on their feet. And so I do think that we could take a look and see, like, is it appropriate for him to leave? Like,
I agree with that, but I'm still stuck on Yvette and your son. It's like it just don't make no sense to me. Why are you living with your mama when you have a whole girlfriend, whatever you want to call her,
because he ain't gonna be
and
able
it
to
get
cheat
like
in peace. That's why. He ain't gonna be able to cheat in peace. If he out all night with Peanut or some other girl, what he gonna tell Yvette? He can't tell her, oh, I didn't come home because I was sleeping with somebody. But if he don't live there, I ain't got to tell you shit.
he's taking her car, leaving
Whoo!
it at his mama's house during the day while he watching TV. Just parked in front of his mama's house while he watching TV.
Not an application being submitted. Nothing.
Why do you have my car?
What you doing? What you
But you
doing?
afraid to share my home. You can drive my car all day, every day.
You took my car to go see Peanut.
Oh,
And we already know that you done violated me with Peanut in the first place, because our
that
son is
is
talking and
older,
walking,
and that's a baby.
and Peanut little girl is a little baby. So you stepped out on me already with Peanut.
Exactly.
How beautiful is Peanut?
She is
She's
pretty.
so pretty.
She is very pretty. Let's see. Mama got to have a life too. So Jodi got
Listen,
to leave because Mama got to have a life too.
Mama need to be trying to make sure I don't steal Melvin.
Ah.
Cause he is fine. Got his own business. Let that man grow that weed in that house.
Hmm.
Let him do it.
I will say I do like how I guess the entrepreneurial spirit of Jodi, trying to sell these clothes wherever he got them from. Um, Even though it seems a little bit shady. At least he's trying. I don't know. He's trying to be an entrepreneur. Not sure how that's going to work out for him, but I don't know. Maybe that should have been a side hustle. And he just should have tried to work somewhere else. But
I
who knows?
thought that surely you're about to go work at a bike shop fixing bikes because
Ah,
like that
you
seems to be
should.
something that you're really good at. You seem to be really good at building and fixing bikes. Like let's do that. But no. It
He
seemed like I don't know. I think the if that would have been a job for him to have, that would have been really interesting because bikes are tools for mobility. So I think it would have done wonders for like character development sake. But the fact that he ain't chooses that the fact that he didn't choose that also says something about character development. Like how willing is he to move literally in multiple like in multiple ways, but child,
also, I don't know if there are a lot of bike shops where he lives. Maybe, maybe not.
I feel like LA probably got some bike shops. Or
No,
like that
maybe
just
LA,
be
but
his
maybe
side
not where
hustle.
his
Like
neighborhood.
I'm
Because it
just
seems
thinking
like
about
I'm saying, it
but
seems like he doesn't travel outside his vicinity, far outside his radius. It's
yeah,
like he got Yvette's house, Yvette's job, Peanut's house, his mama house.
yeah,
Like that's his radius.
yeah. His friend's house. And
Oh
that's not his
yes,
house. That's
yes, at his friend's house. I don't know. This movie, it was just I. This one of those like movies that everybody has seen, but like hates. Do people think people hate watch this movie?
I don't think people hate watch it. I think that we people our age probably look at it and like, why did I think this was a good movie?
But we've been feeling this for the longest time. Like the joke is always like, "Please, BET, stop playing this movie."
Stop
But yeah,
playing it because it's so hyperbolic. Even that sex scene between Yvette and
I
Jody, I'm
love you. I hate you, Jody. I
like
love you,
Jesus
Jody.
Christ. Or even Yvette, like but I think Taraji, I'm not. If Taraji is yelling at a person in a film or a TV show, I'm just not shocked because there are just certain things that I expect of Taraji, and yelling is one of them. But all of that, I hate you. Y'all listen to me. Oh, girl. But you know what? I'm 37. These kids is 20 something, and I'm 37, and I really ain't got time.
That's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. I don't even know if that would have worked back then. But her friend had the same thing too. When her friend was she was on the phone with her friend talking about her man that was trash, and then her man come up behind her, and it's like, girl,
He was fine as hell too. I ain't gonna lie. But you know what I didn't like?
what?
Because her friend, at one point is on the phone with her and saying like, "You need to leave him alone. Like, why are you dealing with him?" And Yvette kind of like makes a point to throw violence in her friend's face, like, "Oh, girl, how's your eye?" And
Yeah.
he going upside your head. I did not like that. But that is just like a toxic ass friend to do some shit like that. Like, girl,
I
we
think,
talking about you. Why you bringing
yeah.
up shit I'm going through? Don't do that. Especially when your car about to break and this nigga don't love you no more. You sitting up in my car crying.
I get that. To me, I took it more as she knows she need to break up with Jodi, but then her friend is in a messed up situation too. So it's like, why are you talking about me when you with your man ain't no good either? So we both with no good men. It's more of like deflection.
But we're like deflection,
They're
but
deflecting.
also like I can't I hate when people do that.
It shows more about them than you. It's like, okay, girl, you don't want
Right.
to talk about like why you still with this man. Okay, I get it. Now that you said it, I don't really hear black men complain about this movie.
But they got all the shit to say about The Color Purple.
Who's worse, Mister or Jodi?
Jodi. Mr. actually changes.
Had a house.
I mean,
Mister had his own house, and his kids live with him.
well, Mr. is like constantly physically abusive.
True.
And but honestly, if they about the same thing, shit, Mr. Because just like Jodi, Mr. had the nerve. I had just had a procedure to remove a fetus. And you gonna ask me, well, since you ain't gonna go nowhere, I guess I could use your car.
Since you're about to take a nap, sir, you're not gonna I don't know, hold my hand or console
Went
me.
straight over to Peanut's house,
Trash.
into the shower, scared the shit out of her.
Talking about make me some food. Trash.
The nerve. But she sure got his ass together when he was really like done with Yvette, and he called Peanut and was like, "Hey, why don't you come pick me up?" She said, "Look, nigga, when I want some dick, maybe I will call you and you can find a way to get here. Get the fuck off my phone. Thanks." Oh, if Jodi had
Had an Instagram
Instagram, TikTok, he would have a podcast
talking about
where
my
there would
woman
be
makes
5
food for
different
me.
women sitting around him, and he would just take turns, like he would disrespect each and every one of them. That would be the premise of the
Now
podcast.
he'll be like, my girl gotta cook. She gotta
Yeah.
take care of my kids. And she gotta be ready to have sex when I say she ready.
Yep.
That will be him all day.
He would praise Kevin Samuels, praise him.
Ah. This movie ended. They got back together and Yvette's pregnant.
He done killed Snoop.
Huh.
What was
Forgot
his
all about
name?
that part.
Rodney. Who's also hilarious. That's one of the things that I really liked. It's like you could laugh out loud at the ridiculousness of this shit. So when Jodi comes to Yvette's house to pick up his son, Rodney got his whole crew there. It's like 4, 5 niggas. And so when Jodi leaves, here comes Rodney. I can't believe this the nigga that done got Yvette pregnant. Go had a nerve to come to my house. Nigga, yo, what the hell are you talking about? Like,
Again, no
the
man in
nerve.
this movie had their own home. It's like all these.
And Rodney really had nowhere to go. You know, he's
Well,
fresh
no.
out of prison. He had nowhere to go. And I felt so bad for Yvette because he kind of just like muscles his way into the house.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. Like, Yvette is trying to muscle Jodi into the house, but Rodney just muscles himself into the house. And the reason why she even gives Rodney any time of day, because I know you wrote him letters. I know you set up on the phone and talked to him because you're complaining about Jodi because you're lonely because he out fucking Peanut and the crew and macadamia nut and almond joy.
No, when Rodney was still in jail in that phone call, when Jodi answered the phone,
baby,
and he was like, "Is this Jodi? Jodi that got my girl pregnant? What?
Who stay at home with his mama? Damn."
He was like, "Why you know my business?"
Nigga, why is this your business?
Exactly. I don't know what this is. Is this supposed to be a love story? Because it ain't. What is this? Like, seriously, what is this?
Coming of age story. That's what.
But they ain't come of age.
He's coming of age. Yeah, listen. Arrested Development. It's coming of age now. Celie came of age when she was like 20 something. It's all right.
There was a progression with Celie.
Yeah, Celie was like, nigga, I'm trying to learn how to read, trying to learn how to write these letters, trying to dodge this nigga. Some sexual exploration going on.
Listen, Celie had 2 kids, and she was like, listen, my kids in Africa.
They is in Africa learning different languages, and when they get back, we gonna sit around and whoop your ass. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with another film and more opinions. Leave a review and tell us what you'd like for us to watch. And let's keep the convo going on Instagram. You can find us at Curry Gumbo. Be well. Happy watching. Love y'all. Bye.